Yeah, it's a very common pain, and it's when the bones in the back of the pelvis, there's a nerve that runs right on either of these joints, and so when the bones of the pelvis are getting very loose from the hormones in pregnancy, there's hormones that make the bones soft so that when the baby's ready to be born, the bones are very flexible and very soft. But it also means that happens early in the pregnancy, and the baby only comes on one day, a long time from now, so we deal with a lot of pain in our hips. So you can also have pain up in your pubic symphysis, if you have a bruised feeling right up front in that bone. But when the pelvis can be a little bit out of balance, and so the nerves can be getting pinched right along that joint, and so there's a nerve that's stuck inside. And so to see a chiropractor to have the bones, make sure that they're nice and aligned. But then it's also, I see a lot more benefit when people are doing exercises in addition to having their bones adjusted. So, since there's people dealing with it, let's just do it real quick. One of the exercises, and you can even stand up and do it with me, if you're feeling pain on your right side, just dangle your right leg like this. It just strengthens some of the muscles around that joint that help to hold the bones in place so that the muscles are doing more of the work and the bones aren't slipping and trying to hold everything and then things are getting pinched. So this is more of a preventative, that this can help the pain. And then it's good to stay balanced on either side, so even if you're not having pain on the other side, do an equal amount of time on the other side. One of the best exercises for me at my height, the side of my tub is the perfect height for me, something where you can kind of grab down like this and it's going to hold still. You just spread your legs out like this, and then you lean back. And what that does is it opens those joints in the back to let the nerve out. So that's like instant relief. Like just doing that for a second, I'm like, oh, my little pain that I was having feels better. The other thing that you can do is put your leg up in this position, so open like that. Yeah. A lot of times, many of the aches and pains in pregnancies can be caused from just not moving around enough. So where you're like, oh, I'm so sore, I don't want to walk. There are some times where just walking more is what makes you feel better. There's also times where walking more really does hurt more. So you definitely need to listen to your body and not just push through. And if you're feeling more and more sore and stiff, then you know that that's a level that you need to work up to. But if you're going from only taking 2,000 steps a day to taking 5,000 or 6,000 steps a day, that's still benefiting you. 10,000 is just a number that if that works for you, great. If not, adjust that to what your body is telling you. I had that advice to walk 10,000 steps in both of my pregnancies, and in my first pregnancy it was no big deal, and in my second there were days where I was like, I can tell I'm starting to hurt myself by trying to hit this specific number. I still have gotten the benefit of moving my body and of exercising my muscles, and so I would stop maybe at 7,000 or 8,000 and kind of and then would try to stretch or maybe go see the chiropractor or something else to see what's out of alignment that walking this much is hurting. Because when you sit back like this, the heaviest part of the baby is their back, and we kind of think of the uterus a little bit as a hammock. So if you're leaning more forward or upright, that makes kind of the hammock of your uterus swing forward, and the baby's back will swing into that more spacious part of the uterus. If you're kind of slouching or sitting back a lot or sacrum sitting, and especially when you are tired and you're at work and you're just like at the computer or whatever, that makes the hammock kind of swing this way towards your body, which makes the baby be more used to swinging back this way. So the way that, but we're not talking about, a lot of us think of sitting up as like military position. So with standing up straight, we think of that as like throwing our chest out. And that's not really putting our pelvis into alignment. So while a lot of us are dealing with getting over slouching, so like back in this position, we want to get off of our sacrums, this is sacrum sitting, you also don't want to twerk. You know what I mean? Where you're like, okay, I'm sitting up. And like your spine and your back are just like, ah! So the way that you can kind of self-check that your hips are not slouching and they also aren't hyperflexed is, so do it with me right here as you sit. There's this bone up here, the knobs of your hips up here, and then there's your pubic bone where you feel down hard right here. So you put the heel of your hand up high, and then the tips of your fingers down low on your pubic bone. And whether you are standing or sitting, it is a trick. It's a trick when you got that pregnant belly in the way.
38 weeks.
Yeah. So you want your hands to be stacked like this. If you're sacrum sitting, your pads of your fingers will be out more. If you're hyperflexed, your hand will be kind of pointed back more this way. And that's true whether you're sitting or whether you're standing. So to just be up, so you know your butt bones, your sits bones, right? You want to be sitting on those rather than sitting on your tailbone. And so to just sit on your sits bones usually just means that you're not leaning back against the rest, which is a bummer. And so it's not about being perfect or never ever resting back. It's about increasing the amount of time that your body is spending in these more upright positions. And any increase is a benefit. It's not about perfection and you never ever sit back and you never relax. So, and then when you do want to rest, if you are on the couch and you are tired at the end of the day, just kind of lay on your side.